you've won. You were the one. So we all ought to die someday. And we all ought to die someday. Well, you.
Hi guys, welcome to Tea Time. Today we're doing part 2 of ER stories.
Hey.
Happy to be in the studio. I think we're all happy.
Everything, it's so good to
We're
be
all
here.
Happy, zappy, dappy. Now here's something. I just got back from Portland, and I can never go back to Portland.
Why?
Because I did something hideously embarrassing.
What did you do?
Had an hour so I did an hour for the first time that I actually was pretty happy with. It needs to be tightened up. It's not perfect, but I was really happy. I was really touched that so many honks came out. But right after the hour, went out, had some drinks with my best friend Bryce and the guy that taped my set. And we were in this aquarium bar. So there's all these little like fish tanks everywhere. And we're sitting there and we're having kind of like a haunted conversation about, I don't know, like the worst sex you've ever had. It's like something nice to break the ice with a new friend. And then Bryce starts pointing out a fish in the fish tank that has 8 fins. And we're looking at the fish. And then all of a sudden, the guy that we were sitting with just starts like snapping and popping and like whistling and like brah, 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 like just like going off. And so I go, period, king. And so I start snapping because I was like, oh, I guess he's dancing or something. And I was like, hell yeah, do it. And then he goes, oh, no, I have Tourette's. And I go, oh, no, what?
Wait, the guy that filmed your hour has Tourette's?
It has Tourette's, yeah.
Risky.
Yeah, very risky.
Risky person to
guess-
have film your hour.
Hey, the hour is not disrupted, and it's
That's
not
what you
shaky.
think until you listen to it back and you hear him whispering the N-word 12 times in a row.
Hey, guess what? Listened to it last night. We're good. But
Okay.
but yeah, and I was just like, oh wait, and he's like, I've been doing this the whole night, and I was just like, he's like, how have you not? You didn't notice this when we were just at the last bar, and I'm like, afraid I didn't notice that, and I felt so awful. I was like, oh. And then I was asking him questions about it.
Oh, he was just ticking out.
And then he was like, well, actually talking about it, I've never met someone with Tourette's before. Have you guys?
No.
No, it was very fascinating.
Yeah, it's a wild... what do they call... Is it... I wouldn't... It's not a disease, is it? It's just like a...
I feel like it's kind of similar to OCD. It's like mental intrusions.
Yeah. I just always saw that girl on TikTok, that one that they made the TLC show about, Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
Bailing out.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck. First of all, it's why? Like, what is there to make an entire TLC show about her? Just like her screaming things? It's like, okay.
It borders on exploitive.
It's like, okay, that's the whole show.
Did you see there was an empty...
I can't stop it.
Remember
I can't.
Remember True Life?
Yeah.
There was a guy he was a white guy who would scream the N-word.
That's
on True Life.
That's kind of funny, but it's like...
And I was like, Gabby? No, but it was really... I was like, that's such a...
Was the whole show about
Doesn't
him?
Billie Eilish have it too?
It actually came out that she doesn't.
Oh,
what
she
was
was
her
faking
thing?
it?
Yeah, like I listen, I just saw like a reel on it, but it said that she admitted in some interview that she doesn't actually have it.
Was she like faking that she had it?
She was just yelling slurs just for fun?
I think that maybe she had some muscle spasms, probably just due to stress. But I think that she did admit that she was putting it on a little bit.
Okay, Dr. Lee.
A fellow comedian that we know has it pretty bad. He has like tics where he's like always like this. And like his eyes will like do this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And I guess I have met somebody with it.
Okay, so I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, and you didn't confuse it for imitating a fish? I literally thought that he was imitating the fish. And he goes, why would I do that? And I said, I don't know. We've had a couple drinks. I thght you were just feeling jazz. I thought you had some jazz in your spirit.
Fish. I don't know.
Yeah. And he goes, no. I go, right on. Right on. I felt humiliated.
What are you going to do?
And then like there was an issue with like getting the footage of my set. And I was like, oh, I know. I was like, this is my karma. This is my punishment for thinking that he was.
Oh, that is your punishment.
And then Bryce kept bringing up the whole weekend. He was like, Harper, did you literally snap back at him when he was snapping? And I was like, yeah, because I was like, yes-anding him when he was having his tick. I was like, yes.
Well, yeah.
Oops.
No, you can't go back.
At least yeah, thank God that he. Never mind.
I have to call it the elephant in the room. I got this jacket yesterday from a secondhand store, and they didn't cut off the beeper.
We know you stole it.
Yeah, the plastic beeper. So that's on my jacket,
And that's on stealing from Crossroads.
and that's on stealing from Crossroads.
And that's on me thinking that you had a robe on. And it's actually a fuzzy trench.
It's kind of roby.
From the front, it's giving furry cool trench. From the back, it was giving.
It's giving robe.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have so many stories. We have so many. And I want to get through as many as we can because they all look really fucking good.
Okay.
So we can catch more up on Patreon, I guess, with the personal stuff or whatever.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
These just like look so good, dude.
Okay, cute.
So we're doing ER part dis,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys did not disappoint. Do you want to start or you want me to start?
Who started last time?
Who knows?
Do you remember?
Who gives a fuck?
Okay.
You started last time.
Okay. Do you want me to pick one out for you?
Yeah.
Or unless, okay.
Just go off with whatever gets you.
Okay. This is what I want you to read. I grew a testi on my cooter, and you could too.
I grew a testi on my cooter.
On
and
your
you could too. It's like, is that like a kind of the same thing as like the phantom pregnancies? It's like if you believe it enough, it'll happen.
Yeah.
Okay. I grew a testi on my cooter, and you could too. Good news. Good news for you, Lee. Okay, honks. This one is actually insane, and just another example of women having it 1,000 times worse than men. So I was 21 at the time when I started noticing a little bump near my vag after having sex. It would go away after sex, so I assumed it was just a little bit of a swollen labia from rough fucking. Well, I wake up the next morning with an aching, really swollen left labia. But I figured there wasn't much I could do and just had to go to work. I was a mechanic. Okay, it's giving. So I was wearing dirty gear and was just covered in filth all day. By the time I got home, I fully had a testicle
No.
hanging off my labia, my nora and majora
What?
combined now. Oh, it's actually called a Bartholin abscess.
What?
We need to look up a Bartholin abscess.
Yeah, I'm on it.
I need to know what the fuck this looks like. But I went to my doctor's office and they told me that I had the biggest pussy cyst. Is that how they put it?
Mm-hmm.
It's very clinical. They had ever
They wanted to make it relatable.
Yeah. Oh my God. They had ever seen and oh, does it look crazy?
Yeah.
Wait, drop it in the group chat.
And whoever is listening to this, look up Bartholin abscess. So we're all on the same page. Whoa. Ew.
Oh my gosh. Did you guys ever see that documentary that Rashida Jones did about sex workers?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
A girl had to go to the hospital because she had so much sex in one weekend that one of her glands in her pussy got blocked and it grew to the size of like what it was like a golf ball or something.
Oh no.
Probably one of these.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
it was one of
no.
these because it was on the inside of her.
Well, see, when you said hanging, I was really truly imagining like a literal like ball sack just like hanging from your pussy lip.
This is like
Well,
a
hers might have
boil.
been lower.
Yeah.
And so it might have been like lower and kind of a little more protruding.
More little ball sacky.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little Sakiana.
I had the biggest pussy cyst they had ever seen and immediately sent me to the ER. Of course, every gyno is a 68-year-old white dude. Hilarious.
Literally.
Isn't that what you want?
Mhm.
So I'm sitting on the ER bed, sobbing in pain with my big swollen ball. The gyno comes in, spreads my legs, and tells me he's going to numb and cut out the cyst. He then proceeded to put a needle into my vagina and partially, not fully, numbed my lady lip. Ugh. He then cuts it open, and I'm thinking this is the end. No. They put a catheter into my left lip that literally leaks out in between my legs, requiring me to wear a diaper for 2 weeks and not being able to sit.
Oh, honey.
Long story short, that was the debilitating, humiliating experience of my life. The cyst is caused from blockage. Mine was from an ingrown hair.
Ooh.
Oh. And it basically stores all your natural lube. No way. So whatever makes you wet was all stuck in my testy. So we know that our girl's getting wet.
Yeah.
And we know our girl is getting
Big
nice
old
and
ball
wet.
of thick old juicy juice.
Ooh, yummy of what is it called?
Nectar.
When you're
Secretion.
ovulating. Also, for reference, it was 7 times 6 centimeters, 3 inches. Ooh, 2.5 inches. 3 inches by 2.5 inches.
Okay, that's
Jesus
dummy thick.
Christ. So, ladies, if you feel a bump near your coochie that doesn't go away, go to the doctor. Anyway, that's all. Thanks for listening, Honky Tonky and Leroy Jenkins. I know Lee was probably rock hard during this whole story.
Yeah, he was actually running around the room.
You're not wrong.
He was doing laps around the room. He was getting so excited.
Damn, dude, that's gnarly.
And so painful. Do
Yeah.
you remember over the pandemic when I got that cyst in my armpit?
Yes.
And I forget, did you pop it or did Mark?
I think you popped it.
Did I?
I don't know.
I remember you saying that you made Gabby try.
Yeah, I think it was too painful. So then I think I had to or something.
Okay.
It was pretty gross. But it was in your bathroom. Anyways, you can get those
Cysts
little
are wild.
big old balls anywhere, girly.
Ingrown hair, dude.
I know.
My boyfriend gets really gnarly ingrown hairs on his neck. They're so much fun to pull out. His hair grows like sideways. I don't know.
I have a cyst on my neck that's been there for like years.
No.
Really?
And it's like
It's not poppable,
It's
huh?
hard. No, it's not poppable. I've gotten it before, and it was aggressive. It was like a lot. I was like sitting on my couch fucking with it, and then it like spurted all over the wall behind me. Yeah. and then I went in the shower and like tried to get the rest out with like hot water on it. And I got a lot out, and it went way down, and then it grew back.
No.
Yeah.
See, I love popping pimples, but I can't watch pimple popping videos. I can't do it, but I love popping them.
Yeah, this was a lot.
I'm kind of the opposite. I like popping pimples really. Actually, I did it the other day because I needed to feel a sense of control.
God,
but
I love.
I kind of went to town on my face, so.
This one on my eyebrow was fucking. It was like giving me a headache when I was trying to fall asleep last night.
Oh, no, because it's so big?
And I got it. And it was
Was it
like,
juicy?
Oh, yeah. It was
Do you ever use the pimple patches after you?
Line.
After you
I don't
squirt
use
it out?
Pimple patches. I use
put one on my
like
back
this,
last night.
this like little tube of like stuff.
Okay.
Oh, so
that,
good.
like, it's supposed to like get the rest out.
So, Dr. Lee, you're gonna like this. I think it works for cysts too. I know it works for moles and other. If like you have like a big pimple that's already coming out, what you do is you take a thin piece of thread and you wrap it around as tight as you can, and you just like pull it.
No.
And then your mole will fall off. Your pimple will fall off.
Doesn't that hurt?
Well,
Yeah.
Feel this thing. It like
Okay.
it's but like.
Let me see.
It,
Oh, I see. Let me see.
Wow, Lee, that's big.
Around it.
And it's, yeah.
I need to like get it drained.
Let me see.
I do like that you're crawling on your hands and knees on the studio.
Oh, that's a big boy.
That's a really big, because it protrudes a little bit in the middle of your neck, but feeling around, it has roots.
Oh, yeah, it
it's
does.
been there for years. And I think.
Do you think it's one of those things where it has like the teeth in the hair?
Yeah, I think it's his. Didn't you eat your twin or something?
My therapist suggested that I did.
That's what it was. Your therapist suggested you ate your twin in the room. In the
In the
womb.
womb. And in the room.
In the room and in the womb.
Damn.
Okay, and then Lee has a twin growing on his back, which I just felt.
Yeah,
I
have
popped a
hunch.
huge one on my boyfriend's back last night. It was so gross. So fun.
Did it hurt?
Yeah, he was such a bitch about that shit. I'm like, girl, you don't know.
That's so funny. Hi, guys. Sorry to interrupt the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you wouldn't mind subscribing where you listen, liking this video, leaving a comment if you would feel so generous, that would really help us grow this podcast. Telling a friend, a foe, an ex-spouse of some kind, that would immensely help us grow this podcast. If you guys are in San Diego, Gabby Lamb and I are going to be at the Yellow Door Theater May 24th, 9:30 p.m. That is a Saturday. And this week I will be at Union Hall May 6th in New York City. So get your tickets and enjoy the episode.
You want to read Maggot Foot?
Yeah, I do want to read Maggot Foot.
Maggot Foot's disgusting. Ooh, what is this about?
Maggot Foot.
I think we can figure out what it's about.
Yeah,
but.
yeah. Okay. Hi, Honk Bonk and Frisbee Dick Lee.
Okay. That's so funny.
This podcast is a curse on all of our generations. I come from a long. It says long, but she said it's supposed to say long line. And then I didn't want to mess it up, but then I messed it up by trying not to mess it up. Okay.
So it's coming. It's giving long.
Okay. I come from a long of female nurses. However, I broke the generational bloodline curse when my mom told me I just wasn't bright enough to stick it as a nurse. Okay. My uncle was a security guard at the hospital where my grandmother was a head nurse. He told this story. In this city, there was a well-known homeless guy who was from the area and was a lifelong homeless. He came into the ER one time completely out of it, and when the nurses went to take off his high boots, they saw his foot and calf completely covered in a thick layer of alive, wriggling maggots.
No.
Remember the time?
No.
Do you remember the time that Joy didn't throw out the trash? Or I don't know, we were gone or something, and we got back, and then there was maggots in the trash in our apartment. I missed that.
I don't remember that.
There was always something going on when we all lived together. Okay, apparently maggots are actually a good thing for a person who can't get medical attention quickly or easily.
Yeah, because it's eating the dead flesh, right?
Right, and the bacteria. They eat off all the dead necrotic tissue and preserve the wound.
Yeah.
On The Pit, the episode where the young white doctor treats the guy who got an injury on his leg from a bike pedal, goes to debride the wound and accidentally cuts an artery.
Lee?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what debride is?
Lee's watching porn right now, so he's not even tapped into the story.
Lee doesn't know what it is. Okay, so...
I'm Googling it.
Okay.
Remove damaged tissue or foreign objects from a wound. So they cut all the damaged stuff from around it so it can start to heal.
Okay, Dr. Nason goes to debride the wound and accidentally cuts an artery. This is what the maggots were doing on the homeless guy. Debridement of the wound. Whatever small wound he had was healed and healthy thanks to the maggots.
No way.
Wow, that's fascinating. I thought this was going to be
Gotta tell you, wouldn't be stoked if I found a
boot full of maggots.
Wouldn't feel great.
Now, are you saying on someone else or are you saying on yourself?
On myself and on someone else.
You gained consciousness. What would you do if I just unzipped this boot and it was just
throw up.
You wouldn't be happy that I was being saved?
No, throw up.
Okay.
Oh God, it's like that horrible story. Remember, this came out a couple of months ago, maybe a year ago. It was all over TikTok about the parents that just let their daughter couch rot for years because she was disabled, mentally disabled or something.
Yeah.
And they were just okay. And she just rotted into the couch.
Oh.
Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
It's so crazy to think that right now, as we're sitting here, there are so many disgusting, horrible things happening to people.
Oh, hideous things.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
It's so many things are happening right now.
This is the thing where then I go, I need to shut the fuck up and stop complaining. Because you just think about literally people 10 feet outside of this building. You go, oh, okay.
The amount of people in the city right now, somebody just died. Someone is
being sex trafficked right now.
Right now. So many people, actually.
So many people.
Man. That's crazy. Last night, I was working on that stupid new bit that I have about being a millennial. And I went to that mic and I was talking to Alexa. Do you know Alexa Loftus?
Yeah.
I was talking to her and Allie Zipsfine afterwards. And Alexa was like, I never saw Two Girls, One Cup. I don't even know what it's about. And I was like, you never knew what it was about. And she's like, I thought it was just girls peeing. And I was like, how did you make it into your 30s without ever knowing what it was?
Did you show it to her?
I told her, we talked about it. She's like, I think I'm good on looking it up.
That's what she thinks.
That's what she thinks.
It's like a brain worm. The second you know about it, you have to see it. That's crazy that she never saw it. I was shown it in school. I was shown it at older, my friends' older siblings showed it to me.
It was always the older siblings.
Yeah.
And Allie was like, oh, I never saw it, but I knew what it was. And then I was like, did you guys ever see One Guy, One Jar? And they were like, what's that?
Oh my God.
I was like, it was the one where the guy puts the mason jar up his asshole and then it shatters and he's picking it out. And then Allie's boyfriend, Nick, comes up to us and he was like, oh yeah, no, I saw all of that. And I was like, yeah, right. And he was like, oh yeah. And then we just like go out and skateboard afterwards. And I was like, this is so funny that like the guys know exactly. Do you remember seeing all of it?
Oh yeah.
Pain Olympics?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it the guys that like really are dialed into
Because our
it?
friends would send it to us. Somebody's older brother or somebody
Yes.
would show it to them, and then you'd send it to all your friends.
But it's crazy though because it's like
or like Faces of Death.
Faces of Death, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny because this all happened before cell phones existed.
The one thing I never saw was Mr. Hands.
I never saw that either.
You guys missed out on Mr.
What was
Hands.
Mr. Hands?
There's a guy getting fucked by a horse and then dies.
Yeah. And I suppose I've seen there's like a documentary about it or something.
Yeah.
Well,
And
the-
supposedly you can see the moment that he like rips. And he's like, ooh.
Literally saw all this at 13.
It's so messed up. Well, okay. The person that showed me Two Girls, One Cup was actually my little neighbor who was like a girl who was 3 grades below me. So she was my brother's age.
Really?
Yeah, and she showed that to me, and I was
Trailblazer.
like, but she had a bunch of older brothers.
Trailblazer.
Yeah,
she had
she
the older
was.
brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, see, she had older brothers, and then I remember I had to show my brother.
Yeah.
But my brother was like very like sweet and like
It's like, dude, it's like in The Ring where it's like you have to show it to somebody or else you die.
yes, it literally is. Well, like the second you see that, oh my God. And then I think it was in high school, this girl, she shit all over their boyfriend's chest and recorded it. And then that video was getting sent around. And wouldn't you know it? I'm pretty sure she dropped out of school or like
You'd
switched
have
school.
to.
Yeah, you have to.
You have
But
to.
that was the same situation where it's like you had to just keep like. I mean, I don't even know how everyone like had each other's number, and it was like a huge high school. But I got sent that video from so many random fucking
It's so
people.
crazy.
I was like, this is so hideous.
Well, and the thing about like the Pain Olympics, Two Girls, One Cup era is that it was all before cell phones existed. It was just like on the family desktop computer.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And
just
the way
on
we were
YouTube.
finding out about it
Yeah.
was by word of mouth at school. People would be like, you got to see that.
Oh, and then you would like be like, okay, here's like the link to like rip it or something. Yeah.
So fucked up.
And you would download these videos.
Oh, and then remember, like on
Yeah.
like Instant Messenger, people would also be sending it there.
Yes.
Oh my God, because I remember I would like fake flirt with
Rotten.
these people, and I would be like I would like be catfishing older guys, being like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hi," Lee," and they'd be like, "Oh yeah," and then I would like drop the link to them. I'd be like, "Yeah, if you want to see more," and then I just was so fucked up.
do the younger eras now like have that?
They have like Omegle and like chat roulette.
Yeah, they just straight up seeing middle-aged men jerk off live.
Yeah, nothing like
Ew.
it's nothing like Two Girls, One Cup. It's funny though because I've been working on that bit and
Well, they have the news.
Yeah, that's what they have now.
yeah, I guess that is pretty harrowing. Yeah. But like it's funny
And
because
people dying on Instagram. But
Mhm.
sorry.
yeah.
It's funny because, sorry. I keep interrupting.
Well, okay. Like Gen Z, like they weren't around for 9/11, but they all know Two Girls, One Cup. Like they all have seen it. And I'm like, how did this transcend generations?
It's called priorities.
How did it get passed down from generation to generation?
You choose what you don't want to forget, and that's what I'll tell you.
Wow. Okay, next story.
And what you can. Well, can I finish this one or no? My uncle witnessed all of this and had to step in to help clean up the man because the nurses were so freaked out by the maggots, and I guess the homeless guy was rowdy. My uncle said once they got him all showered and in new clothes, the homeless man was much more calm. Love you guys so much, and I'm sorry I write in every single prompt. My life is evil and retarded. Love you, girlies. Anley.
Not the homeless guy was rowdy. Yeehaw! The homeless guy being rowdy after having a leg full of maggots
Okay,
or during it. That's crazy.
Rootin' tootin'.
I just
Rootin'
read
tootin'.
this. Wait, did you already read the end of Tea Time as We Know It?
Yeah, but it's like no. I was like, I thought it was gonna be interesting. I don't know.
Should we do it on Patreon?
It's like
It's 2 sentences. I'm just reading it right now
Yeah,
because I just
okay.
opened it. A man wrote this in, so. Honks, I just had a dream that Harper decided to quit the pod, so Gabby and Lee hired Andrew Tate as an executive producer for Tea Time 2.0. Guess that means Uncle P gets demoted to the cuck chair. I woke up in a cold sweat when Gabby announced that she'd be giving financial advice and stock tips at the end of each episode. Completely unrelated to this week's prompt. I had to share. Okay.
okay.
That's like the most okay email I've ever read.
It's so okay.
That is like the epitome of okay.
okay. Well. Okay.
Okay, a lot of pussy cysts. Damn girls.
Really?
Poor
Wow.
babies. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Okay. Potassium? I thought it was heroin.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let's see. Oh, it's a longie. This better be a goodie or we're cutting it. Don't waste our time. Because I don't want to waste yours. Okay. Hey, honks, I have a lot of stories from the ER because when my mom was in active addiction, we were there every other month. This is one time in particular that my best friend and I will never forget. My mom was a raging alcoholic and never said no to drugs. Okay. We ended up living with my grandparents because a guy OD'd in our apartment and we got evicted. Fuck, dude. So we were all crammed in my grandparents' tiny 3-bedroom cabin, enduring my mom's addiction in close quarters. She would never admit that she was an addict and would try to convince us that she had narcolepsy and some other medical condition.
Oh, coolio. Okay.
We thought, if she thinks that she has a medical condition, then let's get her help. She practically regressed to toddlerhood, and we were constantly babysitting her because she was a danger to herself and others. No, seriously, she put a shoe in the oven, turned it on, and fell asleep.
Oh,
Well, I don't know what that's giving.
your grandma?
It's literally giving grandma a pat.
Yeah, it is. When you guys abandoned her?
And that's when I drop my potato.
Yeah.
And that's when I drop my potato and putting the coffee pot upside down on the stove. Okay, anyway, and fell asleep. Another time, she passed out at the top of the stairs and took a tumble. God. And broke her back. Damn, dude. Damn. I could talk about the things I've witnessed as a result of her addiction for sure. I mean, for hours, for sure. So my best friend, Kay, and I convinced her that we needed to go to the ER because Kay had broken her wrist. She agreed to come and we checked her into the ER without her knowing. She figured out what was going on and they started taking her vitals and she got pissed. I told them what we were going through at home and that she said it wasn't drugs, but something wasn't right. So they kept her against her will because she was incoherent. My mom, Kay, and I were stuck in the ER for a few hours, and we had to continue to babysit her until a doctor could see her. While we were distracted, she lit a fucking cigarette right in the room, and Kay and I quickly put it out, but not before everyone could smell it. A nurse came right in and asked what was going on, so we told her what happened and got scolded for it, like it was our fault. After that, my mom tried to escape to smoke while I ran to the bathroom and Kay couldn't stop her. Oh, while I ran to the bathroom and Kay couldn't stop her. Mm-hmm. A security guard had to escort her back to her room and then stood guard. After that, she convinced Kay to give her her hoodie, which my mom tried to use as a disguise to sneak past the guard. My mom was over 50 pounds heavier than Kay and was immediately caught. Finally, after some labs, we found out that my mom had dangerously low potassium levels from diuretics.
Oh, shit.
Which causes muscle weakness, fatigue, and abnormal heart rhythm. After finding that out, we all felt pretty bad for just writing her off as a drug addict. But at least it led us to finding an answer. What? Now we are working on rekindling our mother-daughter relationship, but she's traded drugs and alcohol for Jesus. So I'm trying to work through that one now. Thank you guys for being open about the complex relationship you have with your mothers because it helps to feel a little less alone. Hope this makes it on the pod. And you know what? We're not cutting it, girl, because this was a good one.
That was a good one.
So wait, so she was on drugs though, but she also had really low potassium?
Which is actually very common with women. Like women should be eating a lot of bananas and or taking like potassium pills, apparently. Because
really?
we have extremely low potassium and iron, I believe.
That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Dangerously low potassium levels, which causes muscle weakness, fatigue, and abnormal heart rhythm.
Wow.
I wonder if that was a result of the drugs. What the damn hell?
I mean, probably compounded. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Exacerbated.
Let's see.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Patient had 3 MAC Foundation tops pumps in her vagina
Give it to me right now.
for months, and it's a short one.
This is so me.
What
Okay.
the hell?
Period. Okay. Hi. I'm a paramedic, 16 years, and currently a nursing student. One story that came to mind is a 13-year-old female who had inserted 3 of the tops, which were pumps, with the straw-like thing from MAC Foundation into her vagina and had the...
No.
Gabby. and had them up there for months.
No!
Oh, honey.
13?
The smell was indescribable and have no clue how no one noticed sooner. When she got off my stretcher, it was legit a puddle of stank ass discharge.
Oh my God.
That's just one off the top of my head. I have a shit ton more. I'll write back in after my finals this week when I have time.
Please.
Girl, I hope you fucking did, because this was one of the most hideous and intriguing things I've ever seen in my damn life. A 13-year-old inserted, I want to know
3 Mac.
the thought process. What, honey?
Also, the fact that she like specifically knew they were Mac. That's so funny.
Okay.
Whoa.
We got a brand diva over here.
Also 13. I mean, like, you shouldn't be wearing Mac. Mac is for like aged skin. Maybe she wasn't wearing Mac. Maybe she was just taking the lids off and putting them in her pussy.
Maybe it was her mother's.
Okay, actually though, that is like very concerning because it's like, was that girl doing that to herself or was somebody doing that to her? And if she was doing it to herself.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
Okay,
like, was she being abused? Or was she just like a curious 13-year-old who was like, I wonder if I could fit these in my pussy?
That was my first inclination. I feel like it was just like giving Miss Curious. Maybe she kind of liked it. Maybe she's collecting them. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe she was trying to make her own scent.
Can't have hobbies.
Yeah, a girl can't have hobbies.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's so gnarly.
I know.
Whoa. I wonder, I'm like so curious as to how she ended up. Like, did she tell her parents? Like, how did she end up like reconciling?
I mean, if she said it was giving like a Stankathon 3000, so she probably was just like,
yeah, did her like classmates notice?
And if she was
like,
laying on the gurney, I imagine she wasn't butt naked, so like maybe things were just like, and
for months. That's wild.
It's very disheartening to hear and to learn that that is something that can happen. God, working in the ER, you would see so many horrible things.
Oh God, the drama.
Now, speaking of the drama, I work in the ER. LOL. In parentheses. Keychain up my patient's penis.
Yeah.
Hey. This is so Lee coded.
Keychain? Keychain of my patient's penis? All right, let me see. It's so crazy to me that there are people that exist that don't like hearing about this stuff. This is like the only kind of stuff I would ever want to hear about. You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that people are like, I don't want to hear this.
Well, maybe this is bad to say. Well, I think it's fine. Okay, so my best friend Bryce is a funeral director. So he deals with death, and like every single day he deals with all kinds of death, murders, suicides, homicides, And he is in charge of also like putting makeup on dead bodies. And this man took his own life in such a gruesome way. And the family wanted to do open casket, and Bryce is like,
excuse me?
And when the bodies when they arrive at the funeral home, they already have the stitching, obviously. Like, Bryce doesn't have to do that. But Bryce is trying to do makeup on it, but he was like, there's no way to hide the way in which he took his life.
What did he do?
He severed his throat. And it was
holy shit.
Holy
shit.
Your body obviously has like pain.
Yeah.
What is it? Retaliation?
Receptors.
Yes, receptors, but also it's like when you are trying to kill yourself. He was explaining this far better than I. One day I would love to have him on the podcast to like for him to share these stories, because the stories that he has are insane.
Yeah.
But so he
like your body knows when to stop. It's
when
like
to stop. So he's like fighting against it. So it was like all jagged. And so Bryce is telling, and we were at dinner with Bryce's boyfriend and myself and whatever. And so Bryce is telling us this, and I'm just like, oh my God. Oh, and then Bryce is like, okay, like we can do open casket, but we have to do,
he has to wear a scarf.
Yes, exactly. So Bryce goes, you need to bring a scarf. And then the father of this son was like, okay.
How old was he?
He was in his 30s.
He's young.
And his brother had died the year before that.
Shut
he was
up.
really close from, I believe, cancer. And so then
oh my God,
this poor guy took his own life a year after his brother passed. And then the family was like kind of making jokes, I guess, to Bryce, just being like, well, guess we don't have any more kids. I don't know, just trying to like laugh it off. And I was like, God, coping is so horrific. But then the dad to Bryce goes, we'll bring the scarf, but I'm looking underneath it.
Okay.
And Bryce was like,
I'm sorry. And then you hear something like that and you go, I guess it's not that surprising that the kid himself. Like that's a crazy thing for a parent to say.
Okay, that's why I wanted to pitch it to you because I wanted to tell it to you because I wanted to see what you thought about that. Like, to me, I'm trying to think. I don't think I would want to see.
Insensitive.
I don't think I would want to see that my child's side wound.
I'm looking under it. Okay.
I said,
like it's the hood of a car.
and the way that Bryce, like again, like he not necessarily I mean, I guess kind of desensitized.
You have to be at a certain point. You have to like.
He cares so much, and he's really good at his job, and he really cares. But I mean, he sees gruesome things multiple times a day, every single day.
You have to compartmentalize.
So and Bryce was like, this was one of the ones that like he's like, I think that's one of the worst things I've ever seen. He's like, I was like waking up in the middle of the night for months after like it just. He's like, I just never forgot that wound that I saw. He's like, and then when I was in the room alone with him putting on the makeup, I could like. He's like, I started getting these intrusive thoughts of like, should I do this? Like, I don't know. And then, but anyway, so we're at dinner and we're eating and he's telling me this and I'm like asking him more questions and I'm like.
Meanwhile, the guy that was filming your stuff is like in the background snapping.
Dude, and I'm going, POV. That was so embarrassing. That was like my most embarrassing moment. But then his boyfriend was like, you know what, guys, I'm so sorry. Please continue this conversation when I'm not here. I cannot hear about this anymore. And no shade, no tea to him. But I was just thinking, I was like, oh, that's so healthy of you that you can put up a boundary and that your brain has something where you go, you know what? I don't want to intake this because I have the thing where I'm like, well, tell me more.
I have the opposite.
What
Yeah,
color
I'm
was
like,
his shirt? Was he alone? Did he have kids? And he did have a kid. And I was just like, oh my God. Yes. Yeah, he had a daughter.
It's so funny. Yeah, because I was like, when we were literally talking about like all of this like gruesome shit that we saw online, I could tell like, you know, Alexa was just like kind of trying to change the subject. And I get so excited about that stuff. I'm like, yeah, and you saw that? Oh my God. Like, it's so crazy that people have that thing where they're like, I don't want to hear about this.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, nobody that listens to this podcast has that.
No. Oh my God. Yeah, truly.
But it is nice to know that we're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's crazy.
I know.
God, I would love to talk to Bryce about that. I bet, like, I wonder if he gets, like, spooked out or feels like there's, like, spirits and shit in the rooms.
Yeah.
Okay. I work in the ER, LOL, keychain at my patient's penis. Hi, quick ramble, but TLDR, a guy had a keychain up there. We once had a 30-year-old guy come in at 6 a.m. Tuesday, and he told the triage nurse that it was for burning with urination, but hinted there was something more to it. So they put him in a room instead of a hallway. I walk over to him, finishing up my overnight shift, thinking it'll be a straightforward STD rule out. I open with, okay, burning with urination. When did that start? He says, well, not quite. There's something up there.
No.
In my penis.
No.
Me, straight face, but on the inside. Okay, got it. Did you put it up there? Can you imagine being the nurses having to react to this?
Girl.
The way that I wouldn't be able to, the way that I would be like, what the fuck did you just say? And
I know.
And you have to be like, and go on. I go, are you fucking crazy?
That's the hardest job.
Yeah.
Are you fucking good?
Yeah. What the fuck? And then she's, okay, got it.
And it does hurt, you said? Okay, got it.
Got it. And how long has it been up there? Okay. Him. Yeah. Me. Is it something designed to be put up there? What material? So he proceeds to tell me how he was messing around with his girlfriend together.
No, he wasn't.
No, he did this alone.
No, he doesn't have a girlfriend.
He doesn't have a girlfriend. And they put a metal keychain up his urethra and it got lost up there. A metal keychain. I'm sorry. A metal keychain? A metal keychain. Like the round part? My mind is running wild with what kind of keychain?
I feel physically sick. Well, I wonder if like he cheated on her or something and she's like, the only way I'm going to forgive you
is if we stick something up your urethra.
Yeah, and she's probably like, well, he won't do it, so I'm free. And then he's like, I love you.
And he lost it up there.
That's so
It's about 2 inches long.
No, it's not. I hate
Straight braided metal rope.
Yeah.
Clasps on both ends. Dude, that's big.
That's big.
That's hideous.
Keychains are big.
Yeah. And it's not like your dick sucks it in. It's like
yeah, it's not like your asshole.
you're putting it, jamming it in there.
Wow. Okay, but now we know that he's kind of like, he has like kind of a longy. Okay, 2 inches getting lost around in there. Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Long dick.
It clasps.
Lee's jealous.
Yeah, Leah's jealous.
Frisbee ass. Okay.
It clasps to form a keychain ring, but they opened the metal band and jammed a 2-millimeter diameter by 2 inches long metal rope up his penis and lost it.
Aw, guys.
It was too deep for me to feel the metal band. We got an ultrasound of his penis with the glint of metal. He wasn't lying. Oh my God. How do you even get that out without, you have to do like surgery. You have to like open up the entire penis.
Well, let's see what she says.
We order a CT. What is a CT?
CAT scan?
Yeah, CT's like a scan.
Okay. Yeah. We order a CT of his pelvis, and there it is. 2 inches of sparkling, gleaming metal near his prostate. Jammed way up there. So you put it in through his penis. Where's your prostate in connection to your penis? It's like close.
Isn't
like
that by your asshole?
I guess you can get there straight through the dick too.
I guess.
Wait, Lee, we know what you're doing when you go home.
Yeah, we do.
Fingery finger.
He's got a room full of keychains.
It's like a Chinese finger trap where you put it in through the asshole and then through the urethra.
And it comes out the penis?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
To get to the prostate?
You can floss.
Yeah.
Ew.
In between both.
Ew. We woke up the oncologist. We woke up the on-call urologist.
Gorgina.
Consented him for surgery. It's honestly crazy to me that people don't consent to certain things in like the ER.
When you need it, yeah.
Yeah, they'll be like, no. And you're like, well, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You sure you have a metal rod shoved up your penis? You sure you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Consented him for surgery, and by the time I woke up after night shift, they discharged him after removing an entire metal band under general anesthesia. Incredible last patient of the shift. God, that's so crazy. The sad ER stories are really incredibly fucking sad. 38-year-old female sudden heart attack at a St. Patty's Day night, and we did chest compressions for 30 minutes that ultimately didn't succeed because she was down way too long before CPR in front of her friends and the whole family who saw us use everything possible but without success. And I'll spare you the others, but the funny ones are amazing too. Woo.
I feel like if you have a job like that, you would need to be in such, it would be ideal to be in such like a loving, safe, calm relationship because you are working in such a tumultuous, like hostile environment that's so chaotic. It would be so like beneficial for your spirit to just have a place of peace. Like, can you imagine going home to like a fuckboy? Or some weird tyrant after dealing with this all day?
And people do.
Yeah.
All the time.
Which is wild.
ER story because Gabby said please in the YouTube comments. Yeah, this girl was commenting on it. She's like, I have a terrible story. And I was like, please send it.
Okay.
But I have to pee really badly or I'm going to end up in the ER for getting a bladder infection. So be right back.
Okay. Okay. Hi, hilarious Harper, gorgeous Gabby, and hentai Lee. I'd like to stay anonymous, please. Well, good news. You're not Joe Ken, so we won't be saying your name. Here's some backstory because what happened to me is way more common in men than it is in women. So maybe this can save someone's physical ass. The end of the story was 11 years ago, and I'll be 32 next month, so I guess it's time to laugh this one out. In 2007, I was 14 and had my first boyfriend. During school hours, one day I found out he cheated on me. After school let out, I literally ran up to him on the buses and swung on him. He was 6 feet tall and a hockey player, and I am 5'1" and was 105 pounds. Okay, itty bitty.
Yeah, okay, tiny.
But missed, so he shoved me and I flew back, landing straight on my ass on the blacktop. Yeah, I know. Why the fuck did I have a boyfriend at 14? Well, that's okay.
I mean, that's not the question I was thinking.
You want to know what?
At 14, I had already been around the block, sweetie.
14, I was holding hands and making out with my boyfriend. He didn't know how to kiss, but I was in love with him. And why was I swinging on him? You want to know what? Neither of those were my questions. My question was, why did he push you? That's my only question.
That was my question. That's what stuck out to me.
Yeah, everything else seemed very normal.
Yeah, 14. I'm like, I was like fucking 21-year-olds when I was 14.
Yeah, and that's not something to, okay, that's bad. Okay, not sure. Probably daddy issues. Something over there. Just kidding. But since mine held, my dad was bald. That was my issue. Since mine held not a mustache. Not sure, probably daddy issues since mine held a machete to my throat when I was 7. LMFAO! But anyways, well, girl, okay.
Okay.
Well, that's why we know that you're not afraid to be hostile to men because you already did it at 7. So you said, here we go. Or you had it done to you. Skipping past the nitty gritty, I went to the ER and was told I had a broken tailbone.
Aye.
Wow, girl, so he fucking shoved you hard. Ew. My mother wasn't the best mom, so the only medical care I received after being discharged was Tylenol and ibuprofen, and she gave me a donut to sit on. Donut cushions are for when you have hemorrhoids. I would know because I also have those now too because of the situation. So Gabby, get one if you don't
Shut up.
already have one. Ha ha ha. Sorry. Love you, my fellow hemorrhoid queen. I don't know what this coccyx?
Coccyx is your tailbone.
Oh, cushion.
Okay, Lee.
Okay, you literally are Dr. Nason. Take my
He
ID
literally
out.
has his undergrad in med school.
Okay, you guys. Lee is taking Lee is taking my ID out on Patreon because he's a doctor
it's
now.
giving undergrad in med school. Okay.
They have a triangle cut out at the back so nothing touches your tailbone. I also should have stayed home from school for probably a minimum of 4 weeks so it could heal. But my mother had me go back to school 2 days later on the donut. It definitely got better over time, but I'd always be sore if I sat on anything hard longer than 15 minutes. Chairs, bleachers, restaurant booths, etc.
No.
Not dick, ya pervs. I'd always Google it and perpetually diagnose myself with contusions, which are internal bruises.
Okay.
Fast forward 7 years later to 2014. I had been experiencing some tailbone pain in the summer, but I'm kind of used to it, so I was just taking a leave and keeping it moving. One October night at 2:40 a.m., I'll never forget the whole experience, so that is the exact time, I woke up to pee and was in a lot of pain. After peeing, I walked over to the floor-length mirror and bent down so I could spread my cheeks and see what the fuck was happening, obviously. And when I did, the very top of my ass crack spewed a...
No. Wait, she bent over.
Okay, girl, so she's waking up at 2:40 in the morning. She goes, damn, I gotta pee, but also something is wrong within me.
Okay.
Something has changed. Okay, so she pees, she empties out a yellow load, and then she goes, let me see what's cracking back there. She bends over in the mirror, spreads those cheeks, and that's when the very top of her ass crack spewed a greenish yellow fluid onto the mirror.
No.
Not a lot.
No.
Maybe like 3 juicy pimples worth.
No.
I immediately saw stars, so I laid down for a few minutes, got back up and into mirror position again. But the same thing happened.
No.
Only this time I could smell the fluid, which is what I imagine roadkill resembles.
Shut up.
This did not come from my beehole, so I was very confused. I kind of saw a tiny hole that looked like an enlarged pore.
Shut up.
But
at the top of her ass crack?
girl, I'm about to scream.
All right, so the top is
okay,
above her butthole, which is
there's another little hole.
not the gooch area, above your butthole.
Above the butthole, yeah.
Above the butthole.
Yeah.
Clock it. And never forget that one. Okay.
That's a callback.
I know that was, and you want to know what? We're drawing it after this again too, bitch.
Yeah, we are. So it's above, under her tailbone, like in the tailbone area.
Yeah.
So it sounds like she got like a cyst from using the cushion.
Lee's diagnosed.
I guess what? There's 14 more paragraphs, so we're gonna get into it.
Jesus. All right.
Okay.
Oh my God.
We're coming up on time here.
I know, but
We
that's
might
the
need
thing.
to finish this on Patreon.
No, we got to finish the story on
Okay,
here.
we gotta finish it.
Okay. Looks like an enlarged pore, but nothing was on or around it, and it wasn't even red, so I didn't think anything of it at the time. Bent over a third time. Okay, girl, damn. And nothing, you're like twerking something mean in the mirror. Okay. And nothing else happened, so I moronically crawled back into bed. Still in some pain, yes, but not as much as I was. And I was so tired. It was a big dumb mistake. I don't know why I did this either. My alarm goes off at 8 a.m. and I'm trying to reach over to stop it, but I can't get to it.
I'm sorry. Meanwhile, like her mirror is like drenched in like
girl, let me get through this. But yes.
Scum.
Okay, Her alarm goes off at 8 a.m. and I'm trying to reach over to stop it, but I can't get to it. I can't move my legs.
No.
With barely being awake for 5 seconds, I thought my legs were asleep, so I'm trying so hard to move them. I'm rubbing them with my hands, but I can't feel that either. I'm not in pain at this time, but I am terrified. I army crawled over just enough to where I could grab my phone, turn my stupid fucking alarm off, and then call my husband, who was at work. He rushed home to pick me up, carry, and physically lay me on the back seat of our car so we could go to the ER. We arrive at the ER, and I'm immediately put into a room where I lay on my side, on the bed, and now in immense pain. I am not okay. A young male nurse comes in to see what's going on and to take my vitals, etc., but he bails quickly after realizing I'm not going to stop scream crying. Oops, sorry, brother. He sends a very nice woman who takes a look at me to see what's going on, and she says she will get me meds to calm down because I was having a full-on mental breakdown. Not even 30 seconds after she leaves, a gaggle of ass blonde nurses, 5 or 6, come barging in my room with fucking X-Acto knives, syringes, needles, rolls of paper towels, other instruments, and some stank-ass attitudes. The ugly one was acting in charge of everyone, looked me dead in the face and said, I need you to roll onto your stomach so we can get your pants the rest of the way off because we have to lance you. Let's go. As everyone is surrounding me and starting to touch me. No matter how much pain I'm in or what's going on, I'm not going to take shit from anyone. And I didn't even know what was wrong with me yet or what lancing meant. Lance? Who dat? Bass? I don't know him. Basically, I threw a fit and demanded they get the fuck out of my room. As they were leaving, the nice nurse comes in with my medicine and some bedside manner, thank God. She explained what was wrong and what the lancing procedure was and why I needed it. It was cutting a 3/4 slice into the top of my ass crack around the little enlarged pore because I had an internal pilonidal
Pilonidal?
cyst. Sorry, I've never seen that word in my life. Which was at least pressing on my main nerve that connects to your top half or your bottom half. The enlarged pore was actually a tiny hole that my body created in an attempt to expel the pus, which is inside the cyst I've had growing since I broke my tailbone 7 years ago.
Shut up. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. But she's 32 now?
Yeah, but this is 2014, so this is 7 years after the cyst.
This is 7 years after the cyst. Okay.
New nurses were supposed to come back in 20 to 30 minutes after the meds kicked in, but there was an emergency, so I had to lay there for 3+ hours. At this point, those anxiety meds have worn off, and I have not received anything for the pain. The same bitch-ass nurses from the beginning come back with somewhat better attitudes, but still hardly any bedside manner. They tell me they cannot give me any more anxiety meds, but they are going to give me 4 shots around the area, and they're going to cut into and numb it. I begged to be put under. They said they don't want to do that and it's not protocol. Fuck your protocol. Like, bitch, what? Come to find out, yes, they actually do. So I don't know why they didn't with me. Girl, they were just being assholes to you. They tell me I will feel the first shot most and then the rest will get less and less painful. False! I am crying. I am screaming. They tell me that they will never get it over with as fast as they can. Or that they will get it over with as fast as they can. I feel all 4 shots. I'm not numb. I'm telling them this, and they just say I have to hang in there for a little longer and just breathe.
Oh my God.
Fuck off with that shit. They cut and start pushing down into my butt cheeks to get as much pus from the cyst as possible. There I am, face down, ass up on the table with only a shirt on like Winnie the Pooh, making the whole room smell like pus, delirious from the pain, and I'm trying to scream, fuck my ass, as in like, fuck, dude, my ass hurts. But there are no pauses.
Yeah, we get it. We don't think that you're screaming, fuck my ass, like you want somebody to fuck your ass.
Yeah, thank you, girl. But the clarity was illuminating.
We get it,
Pauses because I'm just screaming, and my loudest scream I've ever screamed. Over and over for the entire ER to hear. I am being wiped continuously, hence the rolls of paper towels. They packed the wound up with approximately 3 to 4 feet of whatever the stuff is that they use. Gauze? I don't know. With some type of long rod. Yep, a rod. I don't know what kind of medical tool it was, but that's what it looked like. I was able to be sent home walking, just kind of bent over some with a major wobble, but I was thankful to walk out of there. They gave me pain meds and scheduled me for surgery, which I had December 1st, 2014, to remove the cyst. Lee, we have to take you to get your cyst removed. That's a whole other story, but it ended up being 6 inches by 3 inches, shaped like a lemon, and was tunneling around my main nerve, which is why I was temporarily paralyzed. I have permanent nerve damage in my legs now, but I'm just grateful to be able to walk and really not have many lasting side effects besides my entire butt crack being a scar.
All because your stupid hockey player oaf of a boyfriend pushed you. And honestly, you should be able to press charges for that.
You honestly should be able to press.
This is like completely altered
your life.
Oh my God.
This is, I'm
sorry. Like, that's crazy.
I'm in shock. I can't believe he fucking shoved you that hard.
I'm wondering too, like, did this not affect, like, obviously if you had like a lemon-sized cyst bubbling up underneath and it like only took you spreading your ass cheeks to pop it, did this not affect like your sex life? Did this could you see it underneath the skin? Like, did you feel it when you had sex? Like, I have so many questions.
I don't feel like she saw it because I feel like if she saw a big, huge lump, she would have noted. I don't know. It seemed like she just saw the little hole.
Yeah. How often are you checking like the top of your ass crack, you know?
Well, I hope you know that we're all going
like,
to the bathroom and we're checking after this.
Like, it's like, her husband not see, like, what? Imagine having doggy and that thing bursts.
So
flipping you over and it.
These type of cysts.
And then you're paralyzed from the waist down.
Oh my God.
So these type of cysts are typically found in men because they're usually caused by ingrown hairs. And well, many men have hairy asses. But those are external kind, and I had the internal one. Okay, so internal. So yeah, she couldn't see it. Internal pilodontal cysts occur from injury. If I would have had the proper healing time, this might have never happened to me. But then again, actually just don't swing on losers who cheat on you. Girl,
it's like,
no,
sue
that's
him
not
and
the
sue your mom.
No,
because
this
she was
is not
like,
the takeaway. You're saying don't swing on losers who cheat on you. Girl, he shouldn't have pushed you. And you didn't even hit him. Girl. Oh my God. I'm getting mad at you because I feel bad for you. But this is insane. Okay, you're literally Miss Cute. Thank you for sending pics.
And then your mom being like, no, just like go to school.
Okay, it's giving horse.
It's giving, there's a picture of her with a horse behind her. It's giving one guy, one horse. Holy shit.
And this is her after surgery.
Yeah, she's really cute.
I know.
Whoa.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to jump over to Patreon.
See you on Patreon, guys.
What's the next story? You want to pick the next story?
Yeah.
That we'll start with on Patreon.
If you have a cyst, go to the hospital, Lee.
Well, we got a lot more pussy cysts over on Patreon. And we got a story. My story is about Elvis visiting me in the hospital.
Okay.
Over on Patreon. We have 18,000 more stories. So
we have a lot.
We'll see you on
maybe
Patreon.
we'll just do ER part 3 on Patreon.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you there, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
You were the brave one. You were the one. So we all ought to die someday. And we all ought to die someday, someday. Well, you were the brave one. Yeah, you were the one. So we all ought to die someday. And probably not from smoking one of your cigarettes.